What up, Detroit? It's Rob Parker. It's my man Mo. And coming up on Shop Talk, we discuss Matthew Stafford. Will he ever fit in the Final Four of quarterbacks when you talk about the NFL playoffs? Plus, we'll review Kevin Hart's new movie. And we have a sneaker challenge that involves boots because you know what? It is winter. Shop Talk starts right now. Some people think the best place to talk about sports is on the radio. No way, no how. It's in the barbershop. I should know. I'm a sports analyst. Detroit is a 5-point favorite. Devin, save your money, I know. And I own a barbershop in Detroit. And the cats in the barbershop, they think they know everything about sports.
Get ready for Rob Parker's Shop Talk. Real sports, real talk.
Shoptalk TV is brought to you by Bob Maxey Ford and by Wingstop. Also, Nick's Chips.
This is Shop Talk.
Welcome into Shop Talk on this Saturday. I'm Rob Parker. Let's kick it off with Getting Rob, where you get my take on the biggest sports stories of the week. We start with the Pistons, the talk of the NBA. At one point, they won 7 straight and 9 of 11. They played Indiana on Friday, and they play the 76ers on Saturday. And the Pistons, before the season started, I thought they were a playoff team. And obviously they're playing better. They're not that far out of the race for the playoffs, and I firmly believe that they will get there. Peyton Manning was knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. It cost John Fox his job as coach of the Denver Broncos, and Peyton Manning didn't look good. There was talk that there was an injury. His ball didn't have any zip to it. I'm telling you, I think Peyton Manning should think about retiring. It's not going to happen in Denver. That looks apparent, and he doesn't look like the same quarterback that he was 3 years ago when he first came back. When he first signed with Denver, I always said that he wasn't going to win a Super Bowl there. In fact, no quarterback has ever won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. So he's got a lot of work to go, and I don't think it's going to happen there, and he should really think about it, and I think he should retire. And finally, Major League Baseball's at it again. I don't know who they're trying to appease. All they do is sell 75 million tickets every year. The Philadelphia Phillies just signed a new $6 billion dollar contract, and Major League Baseball wants to implement an experiment with a new rule to speed up the pitchers throwing to batters to speed the game up. Just let the game be. Leave it alone. Who are you trying to speed it up for? When I go to a ball game, I'm just going there for the ball game. I'm not looking at my watch. I'm not worried about. The only people who worry about the time of the game are the people who are working at the game. It ain't the fans, because the fans go. You know what happens when the game goes too long? I get up and I leave. Leave baseball alone, Major League Baseball. Getting Rob is sponsored by Fathead. For real. Now it's time for the big debate. It's sponsored by Bob Maxey, the only Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer in downtown Detroit. To reach him, call 313-392-9200 or visit them on the web at bobmaxeyford.com. The NFL playoffs continue, of course, on Sunday with the Final Four. The Final Four quarterbacks this year, Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson. And that brings us to Matthew Stafford and the Lions when we talk about quarterbacks. Martin, can you eventually see Matthew Stafford on that level being one of the last 4 quarterbacks? Because all the teams that have made it to the conference finals have great quarterbacks.
The thing about the 4 quarterbacks that we have left in football right now, they all minimize their mistakes. Meaning, first down, they have nowhere to go. They'll throw the ball away, live to fight another day. Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck especially, Aaron Rodgers too, they buy all types of time with their feet, really extend plays. If Matt Stafford's able to do that, then I think he can. I don't see it. I think he had his moment against Dallas, and when he didn't take advantage of that, when he didn't, he had 2 different chances to end the game, playoff game. That would have been his career. He would have walked on water, and he fumbled it twice.
Yeah, one of the major things that leap off the page for me when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Andrew Luck, and who's the fourth one? Forget me. Russell Wilson. Thank you. Young guys, the 2 young guys and the 2 vets. The thing that jumps off the page is a consistent leadership. You know, being able to take a team down when it counts and having one of those major wins, Rob, you always pointed out. He doesn't have one of those signature wins when it counts. So at somebody's place, playoff game.
That's how you do it. You have to have that. And see, this is the thing about Stafford that I think should bother Lions fans. And you should know this, E. Andrew Luck hasn't been in the league as long as Matthew Stafford. He's already gone on the road, won some big games at this point. He was the first overall pick. So was Matthew Stafford. Right. Don't you look at that and say, this is the reason why you're not sure maybe he won't get there?
I mean, I wouldn't say all that because, first of all, Andrew Luck is a very, very special talent that only comes around once every 20 years, maybe I'd say. Also, you have to give Stafford some credit is where you take into consideration that he was drafted by one of the worst franchises.
Dude, we're past that.
Sports history.
Come on, that's a crush.
But it's true. Imagine
they've been to the playoffs twice the last 4 years.
Listen,
come on, that's a crush.
No, but it's true though. I still think
Calvin
he can do
Johnson,
it. I still think he can do it.
I mean,
they have a lot of talent.
You got
They have
talent.
a lot of
Reggie
talent.
Bush. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You got all this talent, and you don't expect anything.
But you also can't put it on him. Like what Mark said, I agree. It's really important. Minimizing mistakes is key. But I think Stafford took a big step in doing that this year. This was probably his best year in doing that. And the last play, when he fumbled against Dallas, you can't put that on him. When the pressure comes, Reese got beat. He straight up got beat, and Stafford had, as soon as he reached the height of his drop back, he puts his arms up and the ball is knocked
Stafford
away.
has no blame.
What can he do about that?
I get that, but I think you're being soft on Stafford, just from the standpoint of they surrounded him with a lot of talent, and all I'm saying, Mo, is at some point, we're not even talking about that he has to go to the Super Bowl in his first 4 years, but he hasn't even won a road playoff team, a road game against anybody with a 500 record. That's a damning record, even against.
That's tough.
Now, let me tell you this right now. We got cheated in that Dallas game. You know, everybody's seen it.
That was not the reason they lost.
Yeah, I'm going to say it was
one of the major reasons.
Matthew Stafford, he played like he was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or even Andrew Luck. He played like that.
You mean when they got 2 field goals in the final 3 quarters of that game?
Now, yeah, they get the 2 field goals in the second quarter and third quarter. But let's talk about all the holding calls that wasn't called in there.
Let's talk about the conservative play.
Yeah,
okay, we got.
I'm gonna say this too.
You can't score points when you're playing conservative.
Okay, but you know what they do on that? They do that because they don't want Matthew Stafford to turn the ball over. And once the coordinators have turned down the offense, it tells you that they don't trust him because you know what? He had less turnovers, but he also had way fewer touchdowns this year.
You know what, though? True. Jim Caldwell, he came into Detroit. His main focus for Matt Stafford was to raise his completion percentage and lower his touchdown to interception ratio. And they did both of those things. So while you're talking about
Did they beat any good teams? Did they beat any?
Did.
You're talking about developing. You're talking about why is Matt Stafford not in luck? Well, they're working on developing a quarterback
Did they
now.
beat any good teams? That's the issue I have.
You know what?
You gotta at some point.
No, I'm with you. They didn't beat
what
any
Rob
good
said.
teams, but they beat the teams that they had to play. They only really lost the 2
But you
good
won't
teams.
get there though. You won't. You'll never get there on
You
that.
can only play the schedule they lay out for you.
And that's true. And we did beat Green Bay. They hadn't hit their
the
stride.
Saints.
Early, right?
Exactly. We beat another Hall of Famer in the Saints.
Saints had a
Brees.
terrible year. They weren't
horrible
good.
year.
Okay.
So
We beat the
we
Bears.
can't say that they really had a signature win. The signature win would have been either Dallas for the division or
You mean Green Bay for the
excuse
division
me,
or
Green
Dallas
Bay.
for the playoffs?
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk more about Matthew Stafford. I'm just not buying the excuses. Check out the Shop Talk Rundown. Here's what's coming up. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
Now it's time for Homeboy Highlights.
This week's homeboy is Michigan hockey coach Red Berenson. The coach earned his 800th win behind the bench with a 7-5 victory over Minnesota last Saturday in front of 5,800 fans inside Yost Ice Arena. Berenson became the fourth coach in Division I men's hockey to reach the 800-win mark, joining a club that includes current Boston College head coach Jerry York, 975 wins, former Michigan State head coach Ron Mason, 924 wins, and former Boston University head coach Jack Parker with 897 wins. Congratulations, Red. You are this week's homeboy.
Redshirt sophomore Cordell Jones led Ohio State to the first ever national championship in the new format with the Final Four and a playoff system. And now the big question is, if you were his pops, would you tell him to go back to college to Ohio State where he's not even guaranteed to be the starter next year, or would you tell him to go pro? Because I'll tell you, after watching him in that game, he looked like a pro quarterback to me. EP, what would you say if you were his pops?
Rob, I mean, I would have to tell Cordell, go ahead, go to the league. In the 3 games you played on the biggest stage, you proved that you can play. You got all the tools. He's got the size. He's got the arm strength. He can move his feet better than anybody I've seen his size. And somebody in the league is going to take a flyer on you at least by, 3rd, 4th round at the latest, I'd say. So, and you might not ever have this chance again to get a contract like that. You might not even start again next year, so go ahead.
Mo, what about you? Would you take a chance? I mean, you said arm strength, unbelievable. He got agility for a big dude. I've never seen a guy that big move like him.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. When I watched that game, he reminded me of Ben Roethlisberger with the Pittsburgh Steelers a whole lot. I say he need to go now. If he's smart, he could go now. I say he might even go higher than that. He might even go late in the 1st round or maybe the 2nd round because there's teams that need him right now. He need to get his mind. He need to get his mind right. Maybe he might already be straight. Or you feel like, okay, I really don't need the money and all that stuff right now. I can sit back another year and then wait. That could be those scenario too, right there. That too. So, you know what I'm saying? If I was his dad or his family, it's like that. I'm going to push him. Like, go now. You can always go to school for your degree. Go get that money now.
I always love that. You can't always go back for the degree. That's not the issue. Cal, here the only problem is if he goes back, the only thing he could do is knock down and have them pick apart his game. You know what I mean? Yes. Right? If you go back to college.
Yeah, you know what? I am a father, and speaking from a father's point of view, what I would tell him first and foremost is I support you in whatever decision that you make. Then secondly, I'll tell him that sometimes the window of opportunity can be very slim, and you got to creep in while you can. So to go, and is this your dream, son? If your dream is to play in the NFL, that dream doesn't always come around twice or 3 times. Sometimes you only got one shot. We've seen it many times with young college kids. They decide to go back for their that last year or whatever to build their stock up and get hurt, or any crazy thing can happen.
Right.
Well, the difference between what he's talking about and the situation you have with Cordell Jones is that'll be a guy who went through their redshirt junior year and is a middling 1st rounder. Cordell Jones has played 3 games of college football ever. With that being said, I think you jump for the paycheck whenever you have the opportunity to, unless mentally he can't handle being a professional athlete. There's so much more that goes into being a professional athlete than playing football. You know, you're everything you do is front page news. Everything you do is ESPN worthy. You're being scrutinized for your every single move and shake. If he can't handle that, then he needs to stay in school.
Yeah, I hear that, but that's not always that's right. There's a maturity thing, and even people who are older aren't always mature. So I hear that point. But whenever you have an opportunity to amass wealth legally, you should take that opportunity. My situation when I look at him is, go back to Ohio State. You might not play. You might not play again. You might get hurt. Right. You don't know all the situations. Right. So if I'm him, I'm jumping at this opportunity. I would rather go to the NFL and fail because I wasn't ready for it, due to I've never taken that chance and made that step to the next level. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit.
If you have a story, we'll help you tell it. At DMRS Media Group, we are your visual storytellers. We specialize in digital media production and brand communications. We create and produce independent television programming, promotional videos, special event videos, and much more. DMRS will also write and distribute your press release. Give us a call at 313-778-8604 and visit dmrsmediagroup.com.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out tshirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to tshirtpalace.com and get started.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in. Now it's time for Trash Talking Twitter.
Miles Jackson at Eyes on the Prize says, Detroit sports fans just plain suck. You think you know everything. You're not coaches or players, just crazy fanatics. Hashtag shut up.
If you want to trash anyone or anything in sports, hit us up on our Twitter. Time to change gears. Here's hip hop news.
Hey everyone, I'm your girl Elle Beasley, and here's the latest in hip hop news. The Dogfather is now a grandfather. Snoop Dogg's oldest son, Corday Brodus, welcomed his first child on Saturday, January 10th. Corday took to his Instagram soon after the birth to post pics and videos of his newborn son, named Zion. Unfortunately, Snoop was out of town when his first grandchild entered the world, but still gushed over his family's new addition. Zion with his uncle and dad. Can't wait to meet you, baby dog. My first grandson. The saga continues, Snoop posted. It looks like hip-hop had a successful night at the Golden Globe Awards last week. At the prestigious ceremony, rapper Common and singer John Legend won the award for Best Original Song. The two artists won the award for their song titled Glory from the movie Selma. Common went the extra mile during his acceptance speech by paying tribute to unarmed black teens. The song beat out several competitive nominations, including Lorde, Lana Del Rey, Patti Smith, Illa K. And finally, Iggy Azalea has become one of the most controversial figures in rap music in years. Some people see her as the face of white appropriation of hip-hop, and others see her as a representation of hip-hop's continual growth. Legendary female rapper MC Lyte has joined the conversation about Iggy. What I think about her is that she is a fan of hip-hop. I've heard her on a few interviews, and I know who she is in terms of having traveled abroad since I was 17, 18 years old. And there are people of all colors that love hip-hop, said Lyte. When she says that she's a lover of this culture, I believe her. Everyone has something to contribute. You either like it or you don't. But you can't just say, you can't be here. All right, that's the news. I'm your girl, Elle Beasley. See you next week.
It's the Final Four in the NFL playoffs this Sunday, of course. Game number 1 is in Seattle. Green Bay visiting the Seahawks. What do you take from this game? What are you looking for?
Think back to week 1, Rob, when Aaron Rodgers was scared or just decided not to throw to the right side, which is, of course, Richard Sherman's side. What I'm looking for this game is for Aaron Rodgers to throw to the right, throw to the left, throw to the open man. Because I think that was on how Seattle played all those games before, because they avoid Richard Sherman. You know, they go to the other side of the field. Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, you know, premier quarterback in football, week 1 seemed like he was scared to do that. I think, week 19 now? He'll be winging it all over the place, especially with the hurt calf. I think it's going to be tough for Seattle to win.
I like Green Bay in this game as well. Not that I'm dissing Seattle. It's very hard to repeat as a Super Bowl champ or to even get there 2 years in a row. So that's one thing that's playing on him. And Aaron Rodgers has played great even through injury. I'm really impressed at how well he has played with the injury. So I'm going to go with Green Bay as well here. And don't forget, they got cheated out of a game in Seattle a couple years ago with the fake referees, with the replacement. They actually beat Seattle in Seattle and got the game taken away from them on the last play of the game. So give me a score.
I'd say Green Bay 27, Seattle 21.
I got Green Bay 21, Seattle 17. All right? All right, game number 2, which of course will pit Andrew Luck, the baby, against the veteran Tom Brady in New England. Tell me what you're looking for in this game.
Honestly, I think it's the passing of the torch right here.
Man, you're on the same page that I am. I'm telling you, Andrew Luck, if you're going to be special, you got to go through the big boys. He already knocked off Manning. I think he will knock off Tom Brady in New England, and that's how you get to that status.
Basically, I think after this weekend, there's going to be no argument, even with Russell Wilson's Super Bowl, who the best young quarterback is in football.
Give me a score.
I say Colts to 35, Patriots 28.
35.
High-scoring game.
24-21. I'm looking for Andrew Luck. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's Shop Talk's Cut of the Week.
Got my guy, Mr. Jones, here. He has a gentleman taper. As you see, nice line up. Gradually taper down. As I spin you around, I fade out the back. So when you wear a collar shirt, it blends in real good. Nice clean cut. Scissor the top. Nice little high top. Everything gradually smooths down. Nice blend.
More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. For the best sports coverage on the web, go to theshadowleague.com. Coverage with a cultural perspective. Check it out. If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
Now it's time for At the Movies with Greg.
Just planning for a wedding, I mean, as you know, as I remember, it's hard in the first place.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, for this poor guy, realizing, I have no friends.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Doug's in a difficult spot in this movie. He's so lovable, that's why it's a little hard to believe.
Right.
But I think his life and his work and everything kind of got in the way, and he forgot to almost make those friendships as time went on. And he woke up engaged, and he's like, I'm planning this wedding, who do I call?
Right.
So, you know, Kevin Hart comes to the rescue.
There you go.
As always.
There you go.
If you need anyone, you just call Kevin.
Right. It's
For
almost like, who are you
anything.
going to call? Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the new Ghostbusters.
There
for
you go.
sure.
That's the new movie.
Yeah.
That'll be another one coming out.
Oh, for sure. They just wrote it right now. It just happened. Right as it came out, they wrote it. Genius.
Right. And actually, that wouldn't be a bad business. Really.
Writing things?
Or no. Like, okay, I got to get married. My wife has 7 friends.
No, totally.
I've only
It's kind
got
of a genius
2.
idea. I mean, hey, we don't know if it really goes on. We don't know.
Right.
These people might be really good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep. Just bring them up. I mean, maybe make them look a little bit more like what your friends probably would look
Yeah,
like.
no, this group of guys, I'm looking at the poster behind you, is hilarious. And that is what
yeah.
made it so funny. I mean, they're all so hilarious looking, and visually, that's why this movie is so great.
I gotta be honest with you guys.
Here's the Instagram shop of the day.
Check out Struthers Unisex Barbershops located at 26010 Eureka Road in Taylor. Give them a call at 734-992-3797.
If you want your shop featured, hit us up on our Instagram account, Shoptalk TV. Now it's time for a segment we call What You Sportin'. What You Sportin' is sponsored by the Restaurant Fashion Bistro on 10 Mile and Southfield Road.
So today, what's up? It's your man's Mo right here, and on the Sneaker Challenge today, got my man's EP right here. What's going on, you alright? Then got my man's Rob right here.
What up?
Yo, EP, tell them what you're sporting.
So I got the all black on black classic Nike boots right here. All
nice.
purpose, work, run in them, ball in them, whatever you need to do.
Okay, Rob, what you sporting today? Check that out.
But not as sweet as the, of course, Michael Jordan Nike boots. Do not disrespect MJ. 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. There's a little Jumpman symbol right there in the front and the back. These are sweet, even if they stuck.
Okay, both put your shoes over here.
Don't disrespect MJ now, Mo.
Hey.
I'm sure now.
EP, put your foot down. I'm gonna go with the 6.
Hey, we gotta clean this up a little bit.
All right, that's our show for this week. Enjoy the Pistons taking on the 76ers at the Palace tonight at 7:30.
Interested in sponsorship or advertising on Shoptalk TV? Give us a call at 313-948-6100.
And check out our podcast every week. Join Eric Vincent and myself, Rob Parker, on the Shop Talk podcast.